back, everybody, to another exciting episode of It's All Related. I'm Sonia Choquette, broadcasting in exciting Marrakesh, Morocco this week with my beautiful daughter, Sabrina. Hi, Sabrina.
Hi, Mama. How are you?
I'm great. We are in such a beautiful, colorful experience right now. And it's just a pleasant change from all that stress and tension for the last 6 weeks.
Yeah, it's absolutely beautiful here. We're here for a wedding. And this is the place that my husband and I got married 7 years ago, the same week.
I know.
So it's fun to be back because we really, with COVID and kids, we haven't been back much here, but this is one of those places in the world that I just love. It's just magical.
I mean, once you get here and get out, and we're not even in a city, we're kind of out in the country.
I know, which is very unusual for us. Normally when we go on vacations, especially I think pre-kids, we would always go to the Medina, which is like really colorful and exciting
and chaotic.
And but this time we're staying in the country. We're in the countryside.
Near the place where the wedding's going to be. And it's almost like the universe is taking care of us and putting us in a nice, relaxing experience that I think, I don't know about you guys listening, but I certainly needed this reset.
Yeah, I definitely feel like it's felt so intense. Everything has just felt so intense. And like, I'm normally, for example, of this intensity, I'm normally pretty good at remembering things and staying on top of things. But the last couple of weeks, it's just been like, I dropped the ball, forgot appointments, like my brain is going left and right. And it's just felt kind of internally chaotic. So I'm grateful that we're here, that's somewhere that's so calm, because I definitely didn't need any more
stimulation,
intensity on any level.
Well, the Eclipse portal, which was basically the month of September, was for me about massive upheaval.
Yeah.
Just when I thought one thing needed to end, then it was another, then another. And the interesting thing is all the things that I've ended that came to my attention or demanded or really insisted on ending, I had wanted to end for a long time.
Yeah.
But somehow just tolerated. And then it's just like something changed in me. It hit me one thing after another. I just couldn't hold the space for anything that was vibrationally just not congruent.
I definitely feel like the word for me this month was my tolerance for things. Like if anything wasn't working, if anything wasn't feeling right, I didn't have any tolerance for it. I had to actually address it and rectify it in some way, or communicate with the people in my life more directly, or be more honest with myself about how I was feeling. It was like I just couldn't tolerate any incongruencies or internal dishonesties with myself this month. So I think it was a really confrontational month for a lot of people for the same reason. It was like you just couldn't deal with it if it wasn't working anymore.
Well, I think that's what, we're talking about. And everybody who's in any kind of spiritually conscious experience says, the great reset, the world's changing, the vibration is leveling up. And honest to God, I think that we are being seriously being really encouraged to level up by the circumstances that are holding us back becoming just insufferable.
Yeah, I agree. I think everything right now is so intense. And if you, look at the news, even for 5 minutes, it's just so intense. Everything is so intense. But I'm praying that this level of intensity for myself has definitely activated an awakening. It's like I'm more conscious and I'm more motivated to make changes, and I'm more forward, I think, in a lot of ways, because everything is so uncomfortable. I'm more willing. So the other thing that I noticed this month for myself, I felt more grateful this month as well, even though things have been so intense and so tumultuous, and there's been a lot of things ending. I had more natural gratitude coming up for the things in my life that were working. maybe because there were so many things that felt like they weren't working before, or that I had to get rid of or change or adjust, that now the things that are working, I appreciate in a different way.
I definitely feel the same way. And the other thing, I don't know if you've noticed it, but I am super connected to my guides.
Yeah.
I am getting a lot of major, hey, here's a strong suggestion, because of course your guides don't really make you do anything, but I've been getting these extremely strong suggestions.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them that I got 3 nights in a row at 3:33 was, let your old self collapse so the new self can emerge.
Which I think is so poignant and timely, because that is what we're all collectively dealing with. There's an old self individually and collectively that needs to collapse. But it's like you getting that message from your guides, that really resonates.
I had this dream that I was shuffling my new deck of cards.
Your new deck that came out this month.
I was shuffling my Trust Your Vibes deck of cards, and they're very colorful and they're very bright. But across the room was a tattered deck of cards, and I noticed it was the first deck that I had used when I started learning to read cards with my mom when I was like 10 years old. And I had carefully constructed them into this very tall kind of castle tower type thing, like literally the tower. And I'm shuffling the new cards, and then I took them and bent them and fling them across the room and it knocked the tower down.
Yeah.
And then I heard, let your old self collapse. And it was so interesting because I thought, wow, I had a lot invested in that. I learned when I was a kid, and this was my journey, and it was tough, and all that was very true. But it was like I was really looking far across the room. Like I had to keep
the identity.
And it was really not easy to keep that identity up. So just let it collapse.
Like a deck of cards is so fragile. You know, it takes a lot of effort to keep a deck of cards and a castle of cards up. It would take a lot of effort on your part to maintain that. So to just let that go.
It's a big loss. It's a big ending.
The image I got from my guides the other day, because they often come to me, like I'll just get flashes. I'll get kind of a hit or a download. And the image I got was like swinging on monkey bars. And that when you swing from one monkey bar to the next, you actually have to let go for a half a second between, to let the momentum that you're actually.
And to have fun.
Yeah. To just go, let yourself be in between the bars and let go of one bar while you're going for the next. And I was like, oh, right, I have to be willing to release the old to open up and grab the new.
Actually, that's really interesting, because I do a lot of meditating in the middle of the night because I keep getting woken up and I'm sitting there for hours. But I have conversations with my guides. Like, okay, you woke me up. I'm awake. You can have my attention. And happened this morning again. And I said, okay, what should I focus on? And I got being with yourself in the void.
Yeah, well, that's exactly the image I had. It's like between the monkey bars. It's like the space between the one thing that's known to the next thing that's known. And I think that's the part that most people
avoid.
All people we freak out about and we avoid. So we keep on holding on to the old version of things because it's like, well, at least I know this. I know this devil. It's like that saying, the devil you know. It's like, well, it's not great, but at least I'm comfortable with how uncomfortable I am.
And then I was thinking, like that deck of cards dream I had, I was thinking, I was made aware that I was attached to that old self identity. And that to build that house, that identity, what this deck of cards was just the metaphor for that, who I was, who I had developed myself to be, had not been easy.
Yeah. Well, think about, I mean, that's what strikes me about the deck of cards. It's like, they're really hard to put up. Like a card castle, it takes a lot of careful, very precise, intense, like even just the level of intensity that goes into building a card castle.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, it was fun because I said, you know what? I am going to let it collapse.
I'm going to let it. Not only did you let it collapse, you knocked it over.
With my new cards.
With your new cards.
Which were colorful and fun. And I thought, the world's different.
Yeah.
The world I kind of developed my intuitive muscles in and had to face down doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
And that for me to hold on to that old expectation that this is going to be, I'm going to be confronting resistance over and over again. It's not the case.
I know. I think that that's the thing that's so remarkable about what's happening right now is it's like when I do open up to what's new. So like the most significant new thing in my life at the moment would be probably Sufi starting a new school. And that's a whole new community.
Yeah.
And then also we had a new baby.
Yeah.
Only 8 months ago. So she's new. And we moved house. So that's new. Yeah. So there's a lot of new.
And they're all foundations.
I know. They're all really foundational.
External foundations.
Yes. So there's definitely this like inspiration I'm feeling around, but it's actually so much better than it was before. Like going through it was hard. When we got told we had to move from our house when I was 9 months pregnant, basically, I was
you were traumatized.
Sick with, oh my God, what am I going to do? And I'm going to have a newborn and we're going to have to move and we're going to like
those rotten people
and those rotten people who kicked us out of our house that they promised we could stay in. I mean, I had a lot of emotion going into it. And talk about guidance. I was getting a lot from my guides of just like, chill out. I was getting a lot of
complaining out. So, it really was challenging for all of us because we were comfortable.
Yeah. But I was comfortable, but I was at my limits of what that house could hold. I was at the edges of it. It
have an uncomfortable vibe to it because as much as we wanted to make it feel good,
it
felt temporary.
It was beautiful, but it was temporary. And it was beautiful, but it was ungrounded.
Yeah.
And and people would say to me when I moved into that house, do you love being here? Does it feel like home? And I would say, it really doesn't feel like home. I couldn't explain. It just never felt like my home. Like this is my home. This is where I'm going to be and rest my head. I always had this vibe of like, I think this isn't quite where I'm supposed to be. But I also was like, but I don't know what other options there are or what we can do. So that was like the discomfort of being confronted at this point of like super pregnant. And now you have to move. And now I had to go through all the emotions. I was so annoyed and angry and frustrated.
Well, the reality is, and this is what you always get with growth. Because I'm kind of getting at now, even thinking of I'll be moving from Paris. I know it. My emotional self doesn't want to go through it, but my intuitive self says absolutely.
That's the way forward.
That's the way to go. That's where the energy flows. And then when I get into my head or my emotions, it's like,
But then because then it was like, why it was so brilliant, why the universe forcing me out of that house was so brilliant is because I think I could have stayed there 5 years in the wrong place because it ticked enough boxes.
I think that's what we're all being confronted with. There's enough comfort on the surface that you can ignore
what the real
deep discomfort underneath it.
That's what it was for me. It was like I was comfortable on one level, but energetically, emotionally, I was really uncomfortable there.
Didn't fit.
And now that we're in our new house and you live with us in our new house, we are in one house now.
Yeah.
Instead of two, which was also kind of a surprise.
Interesting because it's a combined same amount of space as we had in two, but now in one because it's on 2 floors.
Yeah. And actually, because of the layout of it, it feels so much bigger than it is really.
Even for me, I had that tiny little studio. Now I have this whole little separate living entrance space on my own, but still connected.
Yeah, it was completely universe conspired for our success. But during the transition, I was absolutely calling you 5 times a day saying, are we going to find something? Is this going to work out? Are we going to be on the street with 2 babies? Like, is something, and then a lot of people would say to me, what do you expect it to be? I would go and look at these places and they were
terrible,
not right. They were just wrong and wrong and wrong. And I would just kept saying, but it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel right. And I even had one agent say to me, what do you expect? What do you expect? What do you basically, what do you think you're going to get? You should just settle for what I'm showing you, because what you're asking for is more than what you should really be asking for.
A couple people said it doesn't exist.
Oh, I was totally confronted with that. It doesn't exist. What you're asking for doesn't exist. And what's amazing is that what we ended up in is so much better than what I could have imagined.
And what we had.
It's infinitely better than what I could have imagined. And I'm so grateful now that we got kicked out of that apartment, because now we're in a place that feels like home. And I get my heart's desire, which was that you would live with us for at least some period of time.
Yeah. My heart's desire was that everybody feel grounded, and we're so grounded. We're basically in the middle of a forest.
Yeah. Where our new apartment is a ground floor and a first floor that goes out onto a communal park. And so in London, we have these beautiful parks that are communal parks that everybody, all the houses around come out onto one communal area. And it's just beautiful, and it's so green, and it's so
full of trees.
And 4 of other 4-year-olds.
Yeah.
Sufi has like 5 little best friends in the backyard that she loves going to play with.
Well, I think that's just what the guides are starting to tell us, is that we have to just go into that void. A lot of people say, I don't get guidance, or I get guidance, but they don't follow it or give it space to actually, you just have to step into that unknown space with guidance.
Absolutely.
It's like guidance, like we're going to guide you into a place for which you have no coordinates.
Yes.
You have to go into the unknown and just hang tight with us. Just chill and hang tight. Now we do that. But lately it's never easy, but it's easier than fighting it.
Well, I think that's why I want to share, like, when I was in it, I was calling you multiple times a day saying, please remind me this is all going to work out. And you would say, this is something better than what we can imagine is going to come through. And there have been times in your life where I act as that for you, to reassure you, we don't have to settle or take the wrong thing or agree to something that doesn't feel right.
Exactly, which is why you need a community. If you really want to live an intuitively guided life.
Yeah.
You need a couple besties.
Well, that's why, honestly, that's why we created the Vibe Tribe, because your Vibe Tribe
is just a representation of what I grew up with.
It's our family. It's the way we are with each other. It's there to support, because we do need believing eyes. We do. I know that I am as confident and deeply connected to my guides and to my intuition as I am. Not only because, it was my nature to be, like a lot of people listening, I believe that we really are hardwired for this. But the reason I have it on 10s across the board is because of the support you've given me and the believing eyes you've given me my whole life around it. You always have said, I will see this too with you. We will stand in this together.
And that's what I grew up with my mom and siblings. None of us ever had to navigate uncertainty or step into the unknown, the place of no coordinates, no familiarity alone. I actually think, from watching and observing and teaching for all these years, you can do it alone, but it's going to be a lot longer, harder, much, much more difficult and unnecessary. If you just have someone to remind you during the scary curves,
yes,
that this roller coaster is going to pull into a wonderful ending.
Yes.
Then living at a higher frequency is going to be easier than I got to navigate this by myself and I have no support.
Yeah.
In fact, I was watching this thing. I don't watch things too often, but at 3 a.m, sometimes you can. I turned on my phone and there was this woman, Esther Perel, was talking about a woman who said, I'm there for everybody. No one's there for me.
Okay.
I guess
a client of hers.
Something.
Yeah. Esther Perel, for people who don't know, is the relationship psychologist,
yes.
Right?
And she was talking about a woman had commented on TikTok that how she was
on TikTok.
TikTok. I don't watch
Tic-tac-toe.
She said, "I'm there for everybody. Nobody's there for me." And people were saying, well, "Be there for yourself. You got to be there for yourself." And what I loved about watching this is Esther Perel said, "That's not realistic.
Yeah,
we need
each other,
people and each
other."
But I
also think that that's much
spiritual
a part
abuse
of the BS of the individualist movement.
Yes.
That I don't need anybody.
Hello, my sweet friends. It's Sonia Tully. And here's one thing I know for sure. Your head and your heart are meant to be the best of friends. And when you live life inside out, your head and heart are one. Being an intuitive, connected soul is all about remembering who you are and uncovering your gems. It is my mission to help you trust your intuition so that you plug back in and reconnect to your authentic self. Check out my soul readings. We'll look deeply at your soul lessons and find your purpose. We'll answer your big, burning questions like, what is holding me back in life? Or what's the right job for me? We'll look at what's going on for you right now and give you grounded steps to bring your life into alignment with your true self. There is nothing more that I love than helping people live spontaneously and awaken their inner guide. I can't wait to help you come home. Visit my website, soniatully.com, to learn about the ways I can work with you so that you'll dance through life with clarity and confidence.
And I actually think that's what the divine feminine uprising is ultimately about, is that we do need each other in community.
Yes.
We need community. We need nurturing community.
We need to, especially what we need is, especially women, need to not be bullied into, oh, you should be there for yourself. You should be there for everybody and be there for yourself. It's like, no, you get as much support as you give. And no guilt about it.
I completely agree with you. I think that we have been indoctrinated to believe that our needs are too much and that what we're asking for, we should be able to fulfill internally on our own.
And not trouble anybody.
And if you do need it, you're being needy.
And noisy and whiny.
Yeah.
And so that's a whole other thing about your guides and working with guides. Okay, your guides are there. That is part of your support system, but find people who will hold the space for you and reassure you that your guidance and what you're feeling intuitively, even though you have no evidence for it in the moment, like when we were looking for the house or, I mean,
a million examples.
Yes. You know, that's will you get into the school you want? Will you get the flight you want? Will you get
the job you want?
Will you get the book published? It's like, if you get, yes, this is happening with no external evidence.
Yeah.
Or if you get no, don't do this with no external rational reason for not, you need people to hold the space with you. And that is why we created the Good Vibe Tribe, because we're not meant to be so isolated. We're meant to connect and cheer each other on.
We're absolutely communal beings. And especially I feel the people who are listening to our podcast, which I would say you're our people. If you're listening to our podcast, you are part of the family already. That's why it's called It's All Related. Welcome to the family, because we really are all part of the same family, the same soul family. And it's really interesting. There's a mom at school, Sufi's new school that I met, who I really have connected with like pretty instantly. And we were talking about how we feel like even though we've only known each other really a matter of a few weeks, that we feel really at ease and comfortable with each other. And I said, it's a soul thing. Like when you find your people, and the thing that I adore and love about her is she is as messy and transparent as I am, in the sense that I am not here to project perfection. I really want to connect through being vulnerable and real. That's the only channel I really want to connect, especially when I'm this tired from having two small kids. Like if I'm going to go do something social, I want to leave feeling full from spending time.
And actually, if you do something social and you're not yourself, then you didn't do something social. Fake you did something social, and the real you missed the party.
That's so true. And I feel like the more you can find and manifest and ask the other thing I often do with my guides is I ask my guides for two things. I ask my guides to help me find or manifest whatever it is I know I'm needing. And the second thing I ask them to do is I ask them to help keep me calm and patient while it happens.
It's so important. In fact, again, my middle of the night visitations, my birthday is coming up October 8th, and it was shared with Louise Hay.
Yeah.
We had the same birthday. And
this was so cool. This was really something.
Yeah. I was in my middle of the night. This is a couple weeks ago. And Louise, she has come and gone. She's my publisher. She opened the door for all my books to come through. And we got each other, but she showed up. She has transitioned. She has been in spirit for some time now.
She left her body.
Yes. But she said, people don't know how to work with guides. Sonia, you have to teach them. You have to have a transmission and introduce into what guides feel like.
So why this is so fun, though, is because you woke up the next day, since you live with me, and you said, I had this visitation from Louise, and she was so clear about needing to open this portal. And you said, I really want to do this. And I said, let's do it on your shared birthday.
Right. That's right.
Your birthday. I was like, your birthdays, both you and Louise had the same birthday. And it was
I hadn't thought about it at the time that it was our shared birthday.
Yeah. I was like, we should do a birthday party for you two.
And bring in this
portal that Louise came to you and told you we needed to do this.
So it was hustle, but we're doing it. So if you're listening and it's before October 8th, there's a link below. You can come and join.
Yeah, the link is in the show notes. We're doing a really amazing portal. This is not a normal class. This is a experience.
Just like we just want it. Like vibes from guides feel a certain way.
Yes.
And it's very different than your intellect, your emotions, your fears. So that's one thing, is to actually help you recognize, because we recognize a guide.
I always laugh because my guides are so much more clever than I am. My guides are clever and whip it. They will just come out with something that I think, that is so good. Where did that come from?
That is something that's true. When you get guidance, it's so good.
And it's so not
different than the way you think
my mind could have come up with. It's so novel. It's so not my crafty solutions.
And it's not heavy.
No, it's not. It's always like the keen sense of the obvious with a little bit of sprinkle magic in it.
And humor.
And I really feel inspired. Like I feel like a breath of fresh air.
It's like good idea.
A good idea. Novel idea. Definitely, I wouldn't have thought of that.
Or an invitation. Like lately, I had one. I actually went, like in Morocco, one of the things you get here is the best massage in the world, a hammam, where they scrub you down. They scrub off the dead skin. This woman said, you got a lot of dead body on you. And it was like, she didn't speak English very much. She goes, dead body, lot dead body. And I laughed. I thought, boy, it's probably true.
Really true.
And so she's scrubbing all this dead skin off me and hosing me off and getting ready to put the mud and the clay, and I got this clear download. Clear. Forgive everybody now.
Yeah.
Those are the dead bodies.
Yeah.
And
the image I just got is like the judgment card in the tarot.
Yeah, it's interesting. Good one. So I immediately said to my guides, I have. And they said, no, not from the right place. Your ego forgave them, but you're not seeing where you played the part.
Oh.
You played a
Touche,
part.
guys.
Yes. It's like every one of those situations that you're forgiving, you fully participated in. That's why you should forgive everybody.
Including yourself.
Yeah. As we scrub off the dead bodies. That was major landing.
Touche, guys.
Because I never
But also what I love about touche
that.
is it means to touch.
Yeah.
Touche means to touch.
Yeah,
so it's like
touch the spot.
My guys are like, boop, right on the spot that actually, but isn't that true? I feel like sometimes we ego forgive. Like it's the noble thing to do, or it's
like it's the spiritual thing.
I'm the do.
But that's when the guy said, because I argued. I said, I have. I said, no.
They said, not really.
Not really, because you didn't include your part. You're not looking at, you fully were involved in all this drama from your part. So, and then laughingly, everybody, forgive everybody all over again. And I thought, okay, you scrub off the dead bodies and I will let the inner attachment go.
You know what I think is so interesting for me about the word forgive is that a lot of the time what comes up for me around forgive is, or at least around my ego, is like, I've already given you enough. I don't give you anymore. Right. Like a lot of the time I think where we have resistance to forgiveness is actually because in a lot of those situations, our boundaries or our needs were not respected.
And we overgave.
So it's like, I don't want to give you
which is what you're mad about.
Yeah. I don't want to give you any more. So for me, it's been really powerful for me to repurpose it instead of to forgive. I say it's for me to release. Like I let it go back into the universe to say, I don't totally understand all the parts of that. The parts of it that I do understand, I will, but I'm going to release this back out into the universe and not hold this in my body anymore because it can be for me, like, I don't give you another thing. And the other thing that I think is interesting about forgiveness is sometimes it's like the reason we don't forgive is because we think that somehow by saying I forgive you, we're somehow agreeing that, how do I put this? It's like agreeing that.
Like you got away with it.
Yeah. Or like, you did this thing and now does it mean that I have to like open myself back up to you or you can forgive and never speak to that person again. Well, you can forgive and never have to interact with them again.
Well, it's interesting because I was thinking this was the follow-up to let the house of cards collapse. Also forgive and let go of that identity that got wounded in the first place.
Well, that's
like,
right.
Stop being that person that put you in that situation to have that thing go wrong.
Yep.
The whole thing needs to go.
Come down. I think that's
for me, that was a big,
huge
act. It was like an exorcism.
Yeah.
It's like I got
my scrubs tomorrow. I wonder what I'm going to get.
What little monkeys are coming out. What
monkey's coming off of me tomorrow?
It was big.
Yeah, because I do think that this is that whole eclipse. It's like the shattering of an identity. My identity, what I realize, what my reckoning has been recently is that I think I've had a soul that has said, I'm always just a little bit dissatisfied with something. And what I'm realizing recently is that I want to embrace the soul of gratitude for what is working instead of, because I think
would be really refreshing to feel like you don't have to keep working harder to make it better.
Yeah, it's like I don't always have to be improving it. I don't always have to look for what's wrong with the picture to make it better. I can just start to really relax a bit and open up to the good that is here. And because I think it's a soul thing for me.
Yeah.
I do. I think I'm just a soul that's really attuned to what's not working. And it served me really beautifully in my work with my clients. Like I'm very good at identifying what's not congruent and getting it congruent to whatever that soul wants to learn or grow or evolve. But in my personal life, it's been a little bit of my Achilles heel because it's like I can I'm the Virgo who will focus on the crack in the wall instead of the beautiful picture. Like my eye will keep going back to that crack.
Yeah. My teacher used to say that's being what's wrong with this picture eye needs to meet the what's right with this picture eye.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting from my guides. It's like I need to start looking for and really expanding upon what's working and put energy there because that's going to help me grow and expand more of what I want, if that makes sense. Like I'm focused too much on what's not working. And then I'm almost manifesting more of not working because I'm focused on what's not working.
Yeah, I get that. When I was in my massage today and I thought, okay, I'm going to forgive it all. What I got is part of that forgiveness is that I don't have to I had this flash of when I was a kid. We had 7 kids and my father was this very impatient Aries and he'd just get so angry and smack us around. And that was just normal. That wasn't, everybody got smacked around. Every single kid I knew, it was just the way.
At the time.
It was just the same.
Sign of the times.
But I remember once he was ready to go after us and my mom pulled me out of the line. She said, not her. She always does it. She always does what we want.
Yeah.
And I could have been
imprinted.
7.
It imprinted on you. I always got to do what they want.
Everybody in the family gave me stink eye, but I also got note to self, do what they want forever, better than they can figure out, and it'll save my butt. And that's a self.
Intuit what they want before they know they want it.
Before they want it. Again, serving well. I thought, I'm not going to be that person anymore.
No.
I'm not going to be in that matrix anymore. It's like, I love you guys, family members, but I'm stepping out of that ring of fire.
I think that this is exactly where we started with the void. It's like you let go of a version of yourself. You let go, like for me, letting go of dissatisfied, some version of myself that's always a bit dissatisfied. But I don't know the new me. Like, who's this satisfied version of myself? Like, I think that's
the void.
That's the void. It's like you step into this new place and space. And the other day, for the first time in a long time, I walked out the door to go get Sufi at school. And I'm so happy with the school she's going to.
Which is a miracle unto itself. Who's happy with schools?
I mean, she is in this incredibly conscious community with really good teachers. Between her two teachers, they have 55 years of experience. That's how long they've been teaching.
And they get
kindergarten. They get her.
She runs out the door. They
love her. She runs to school every morning saying, I'm so, and this is a kid who genuinely loves me so much and I love her so much. She doesn't want to leave the house. She's like, no, I just want to stay home with mom. And since she started school, she's like, bye, mommy, love you. And like gives me a kiss and skipping out the door.
Have a nice day, Nana.
Have a nice day.
Hope I'm going to have one. You have one too.
Yeah, she's so happy. And I'm like, wow. I'm so grateful.
Satisfied.
I'm so satisfied. I'm so grateful. I'm so better than what I could have imagined.
Well, that is the thing we got to start opening up curiosity for. Like, I am no longer going to be the kid in the family that solves it for everyone.
Yeah.
I am good at it, but I'm going to not take it on as my work.
But I also think that's the portal that you're going to open up on the 8th for everyone. It's like we all need to step into this higher, happier, more abundant, less constricted consciousness. But that's where our guides,
just as much as wants to be born, but our guides will help us.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Our guides are that community, so we don't have to do it on our own.
Yes.
I don't want to do it on my own anymore.
I think that everybody's feeling that way. So again, if you're curious, just check the link below. On October 8th, it's just one day, one evening.
Yeah, and we have a 48-hour replay on it. So if you can't make the first,
and we'll see what comes through.
Exactly. And truly finding your people. Like, think really
finding your support
people. That truly, for me, like, I have a friend named Solange who I love. And sometimes I just call her and I just have a 10-minute conversation with her, and it just clicks me right back in, because whatever I say to her, she gets it.
Well, that was just what I was watching with when Esther Perel, she noted this, something that I know to be true is people are lonely. And that isn't something I am.
Yeah.
Because I feel always the companionship of my guides.
And the other thing is you always taught me for whatever I needed, really needed in my heart. I could ask for it and it would be provided for by the universe.
You'll be helped to get it.
Always. That it was like if my heart had a genuine prayer, a need, that every need would be met and that I would just have to be patient and persistent in that.
And have some support while you're in that unknown space.
Yes. And that can be the hardest part.
And I think we're all being invited collectively into the unknown space. The known is like your own version of that house of cards that took a lot of work to duct tape together somehow.
Right.
That's not solid anyway.
Right. That house of cards got to come down.
Yeah. I got a clear vibe. Let it collapse.
Let it go.
The word was collapse. Let it implode.
Yeah.
And see what's on the other side. So
much better.
So our tool of the week, what's our tool of the week? I would say, let it collapse. No, I have a better one. Find your people. Good vibe tribe, or maybe you can come to the transmission, but even around you, who are your people?
Identify
who's already in your life.
Well, I would say it's a mix of these two things this week, because I do think within each of us right now through this season we've been through, it is important to identify the part of us that needs to collapse.
Yes.
So let's start with what's got to go. And then
you know it.
Yeah. And then part two, find your people to support you through it.
Right. Two parts.
Find your peeps.
Like what's got to go is like, it's just not fitting anymore. Like I know for whatever reasons, I still have my home in Paris. I know it has served its purpose. I also know it's time to go.
Yeah.
I don't know how long or like when I think about it, how is that going to happen? I don't know. And when I emotionally think about it, yikes, that's where you help me say, trust this transition.
Yeah.
It's going to make things easier.
It's going to be one step at a time. And what was so interesting about moving with two little babies from point A to point B was in my mind, it was actually so much worse than it was in reality.
But that's for sure.
In my mind, I was like, oh, this is the worst.
So we have two tools. Sit with yourself. What's got to go? And don't look through your head. What doesn't feel like it fits anymore?
Yeah.
Because we get real comfortable with what doesn't fit anymore.
And I think genuinely a lot of people hold on to what's not fitting anymore because they don't want to be in the void of it's like the quintessential person staying in a relationship that they know is wrong for them, but they just don't know what's next, so they stay.
And they don't want to go into the I'm not in a relationship mode.
Yeah, they just don't want to be single.
Right.
There's
so
a void.
I'd say the tools are now we're working this out.
We're workshopping it with you guys.
Let the what's got to go. Identify it.
Yeah.
And identify your resistance, like you're making yourself comfortable with what isn't resonating. And then part B, look both horizontally and vertically. Horizontally, look for your guides. Who's around you that really does help you believe in something better's on its way.
Yeah.
And vertically, tune into your guides and ask for help and let them help you. And that means if you have to go into the void, I pretty much don't know too much where you don't have to go into the void.
For me, there's always been a surprise on the other side.
And the void is always part of the journey.
Yeah, for sure.
So make room don't avoid the void.
Don't avoid the void. I think that's the name of the episode. Don't avoid the void.
Right.
Well, we
don't have a question this week because
our tech went down and we couldn't get one. But if you do have questions, please email us at itsallrelatedpodcastquestions.com. And that'll also be in the show notes. And you can email us any kind of questions. If you have any questions,
any topics
about what you'd like to know more about, we love hearing from you and we love answering your questions. So we will be back with whatever questions come up next week. We just couldn't get the tech up here to be able to access
We're
them.
so far out in the country.
We're so far in the country. We don't even have Wi-Fi.
We don't have anything. So we are in the void. We are broadcasting from the void. But, and if you're around on October 8th and you want to connect with your guides, that's in the show notes. And that transmission, it'll be Louise Hay. It'll be my guides, the emissaries of the third ray, and me, and your guides.
I'm so excited.
Okay. All my love, guys.
All my love. Bye.